So, let's talk about the Ducktales reboot. I grew up after the original Ducktales aired, so I don't know much of the original show, other than what I've learned from Ducktales Remastered, which I played the hell out of. So when I heard a reboot was coming, I was excited, and most of the main cast had appeared in other shows I had liked. But there was one thing that I was really skeptical of going in, and that was David Tennant playing Scrooge. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but... time for the unpopular opinion corner. I really didn't like him as the Doctor, and I haven't seen him in much else but Doctor Who, so I was afraid that his performance would hurt the show for me. Then it aired last week, I watched the episode, and goddamn, his performance was amazing. I'm really happy I was wrong about him. And, well, everything else about the DuckTales reboot works too. Now, as stated earlier, I never watched the original DuckTales, but for the purpose of this review I did go back and play DuckTales Remastered again. And I watched a couple episodes of the original show. And by far, my favorite thing they've done is reinvent some of the characters' personalities. Huey, Dewey, and Louie all have distinct personalities, Huey being the oldest and the most responsible, Dewey being the middle child wanting to make a name for himself, and Louie being the youngest and wanting to become rich by doing nothing. They all represent one aspect of Scrooge, Huey being smart and clever, Dewey having a thirst for adventure, and Louie wanting to make money. But they all have a major flaw that stops them from being as truly great as he is. Huey being too by the books, Dewey being unexperienced, and Louie being lazy. I'm excited to see where this opens the door in terms of character development with Scrooge. Speaking of Scrooge, he showed much disdain toward the kids and Donald, which, even after the first episode, wasn't resolved. Of course he liked them, but there's still that family awkwardness that I hope we get to see more of. In the original DuckTales, the pilot was basically all the development we got to see for Scrooge. But with the cliffhanger in the end and Donald's past with him, I think we're going to see a lot of change in the old Duck. Webby has gone from the standard girl character whose only role is that she's a girl, to a sheltered child who wants nothing more than to be an adventurer like Scrooge. Another thing I really like is that Donald is involved quite a fair bit, which is hard to understand at times.
What if the Bulldogs clown want a babysitter here?
Yes, Uncle Donald.
But I always forgot that Donald was part of the whole DuckTales family. And him being a major player in this show excites me. Also, I love the new Beakley. Purely in design, she looks miles better than she did in the original. And whew, boy, that tease at the ending, giving me Gravity Falls vibes to a much larger overarching plot. That's the stuff I live for in cartoons nowadays. As for the animation style as a whole, it's very fluid and looks like a comic book, and I think it's really unique compared to a lot of other shows that Disney has right now. I love it. However, my excitement to see more of it also gives me a lurking fear, because as of right now the animation industry as a whole, with the exception of Adult Swim, is kind of a crapshoot. Cartoon Network is only airing Teen Titans Go, with maybe a couple episodes of OKKO thrown in. Nickelodeon seems to be desperately searching for something that will be the new SpongeBob, and with The Loud House, I think they found it. I worry what the future will bring for that show though, looking at SpongeBob's history. And Disney XD seems to be handling it the best right now, with Star vs. the Forces of Evil and Star Wars Rebels reigning strong. But in the last couple of years, a lot of the good quality shows with deep compelling storylines have been shafted. And that's what makes me worried. Disney has the chance to be the change that so many fans need in the industry. I just hope they handle it right. But with that being said, I've been RVRocks and thanks for watching. See ya!